End of an intense race, the sweat beating down your face, just watching these athletes struggle to pull out a win. Now imagine the last quarter of a football game. The crowd is going crazy. Both teams trying their best to take home the glory. The pressure from society to be outstanding in all we do truly shines and drives us to sacrifice all we can to get there. This pressure of greatness is intensified in sports. Many athletes will stop at nothing, even if it means win now and die later. This mentality that drives us has also created a problem in our beloved sports. Doping, or performance-enhancing drugs, are taking over our world of sports. Doping in sports is an increasing problem in sports today, and we must stop it by being better informed, recognizing the problem, and being voiced to stop the problem. Doping is not a new concept to our society. It has deep roots that lead all the way back to ancient Greek times. How did doping to improve your ability in sports come to be? The idea of drug enhancements to improve one's ability come from the early Zulu warriors when they would use drugs to improve their performance in battle. According to Drugs in Sports historical timeline, doping yourself to get a higher chance of winning came from the Greeks. The Greeks wanted to win just as much as anyone else, and their favorite drug to use was opium juice. Although we do not use opium juice today, many other kinds of doping strategies are involved. Doping in today's world is almost a given in some sports. Athletes feel like they must dope in order to compete, and today are using all kinds of different doping strategies. The most common doping in sports are anabolic steroids and EPOs. Anabolic steroids are used to build quick muscle. Anabolic steroids are made from the male hormone testosterone and are prescribed to help with hormonal deficiencies. The amount of people who abuse anabolic steroids are 10 to 100 times greater than those who get them prescribed, according to Drugs in Sports. According to drugabuse.gov, many who abuse steroids to enhance performance suffer from aggression, deep voice, kidney, and liver failure. Anabolic steroids chemically change a male into a female and a female into a male. EPOs are injected into your bloodstream. EPOs increase the amount of oxygen flow and are most commonly used in cyclists. EPOs are naturally created in your kidney, according to the British Journal of Sports Medicine. With steroids and EPOs, along with other drugs being abused, doping is becoming an increasing problem and is indeed a form of cheating. Doping is becoming an increased problem in our sports community and is considered a form of cheating. According to worlddancesport.org, although a lot of drugs used for doping can easily be purchased through a pharmacy, that does not necessarily make them healthy for a healthy athlete. They are to be used when needed in order to cure an illness and not to mix with other substances to improve your ability. Doping causes a change in your chemical makeup and mindset. In 1976, East Germany began doping all of their athletes, especially women, but kept them in the dark about their actions. East Germany female swimmers Kathleen Bolin described her time of doping as dips, injections, pills. It was all a normal thing during training. Nothing strange about it, and I wouldn't have known what to ask because I wasn't skeptical at all. I didn't start to look like a man overnight. It gradually happened, and I wasn't even aware of it myself. But it was obvious to everyone else. And whether I wore a dress, skirt, or makeup, it got worse and worse. They would call me a transitive and a gay, and it truly shocked me. There is still controversy within sports societies today to determine whether drug enhancements really are a form of cheating. However, the government and other countries internationally have ruled doping as a form of cheating. Within the U.S., each sport has their own regulations for doping that meet within the policy given by the World Anti-Doping Agency and the U.S. ADA, or the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency. Internationally, there are 130 anti-doping agencies throughout the globe, all keeping the sport fair. They are required to test athletes in and out of competition. Anti-doping agencies are asked to accept the code given by the government, implement the code, and enforce the code, and abide by the standards provided by the World Anti-Doping Agency that has the agreements of all governments. Athletes know doping is cheating according to learning to live together. They cheat because of the pressure to do well and the money that follows. The risk of doping seems worth it to athletes when they think of what they can gain if they are not caught. Since when did cheating ever become okay? From the time we are young, we are taught not to cheat and encourage others to do the same. So why are our top athletes and our role models for our children allowed to cheat? Cheating in sports is not acceptable and should not be tolerated. It is up to us to make a stand and take a make a difference. You can help stop doping by using the knowledge I just taught you to inform others about the problems of doping and remind them of the importance and remind them of the importance it has. Today we follow sports and cheer on our favorite athletes, but we don't see the training and the underlying secrets that come with their progression. It is important to tell others about the problems of doping and help them become more aware of what it is. The WADA, or the World Anti-Doping Agency, tells us as citizens to promote the ethical value of hard work and create a more positive playing field for sports. They also encourage us to keep each other accountable for our actions on and off the field. As citizens, we should not allow the knowledge of cheating to slide by. We should hold our athletes accountable for their actions. On August 23, 2013, Lance Armstrong, a beloved cyclist, was stripped of 7 years of glory. Lance Armstrong openly admitted, according to Sports and Drugs, that he used illegal and banned substances starting in the beginning of his career in the 1990s to his final competition in 2005. We can also encourage the younger generation to learn how to work hard and fully accept responsibility for their actions, so they can avoid the heartache that comes with cheating in the long run. The amount of high school athletes doping has risen from 5% to 11% since 2012. The problem with doping in high school is our students see their heroes and athletes they admire getting away with doping and succeeding and getting a lot of money, and then they think that it's not okay because their athletes aren't getting caught. High schools are beginning to see the increased effect doping has on their students and are beginning to take an action, and we need to take an action as well. Doping, a growing problem for young athletes, says we must recognize the dangers that illegal use of this synthetic hormone can present to our athletes. Through education, awareness, and a no-tolerance approach to performance-enhancing drugs, parents, coaches, and trainers can protect young athletes and the integrity of youth sports. Doping in sports is a problem, and we must inform others. We must help them realize the importance of fair sports and keep our young athletes healthy and safe. Throughout this speech, you have learned what doping is, how it is a problem in our society, and how you personally can help. Doping or performance-enhancing drugs are taking over the world of sports. Doping in sports is an increasing problem in today's society, and we must stop it by becoming better informed, recognizing the problem, and being a voice to stop the problem. Do not stay silent any longer. Help spread the word and tell others how doping is unfair and create more fairness in sports. Thank you for coming and listening.